Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. It is Sunday prep day. Super excited for the menu this week. For breakfast prep, I'm going to be doing blueberry pancake bake. That's going to be 3-point breakfast. I think I'm probably going to go ahead and pair that with some turkey kielbasa for an additional 2 points. And then for lunch prep, I'm going to do a Philly style Hasselback chicken. I'm going to pair that with some Normandy vegetables. So excited about that. So if you want to see how I prep breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks for my husband and I for the week, then stay with me. If you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Christy and I am planning us healthy. So we're going to get started with breakfast. I actually started to get started and then realized that it wasn't recording. So for this recipe, for the blueberry pancake bake, we are going to need 1.5 cups of unsweetened almond milk. We need 2 cups of the Kodiak Cakes flapjack mix, and then 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1 cup of blueberries. You could actually use whatever fruit you want if you prefer to use blackberries or maybe strawberries. That's up to you. We really like it with the blueberries. It gives it a really good sweet taste. And then you also need 2 overripe bananas, 2 smashed overripe bananas. If you don't do bananas, you don't like bananas, you could certainly sub it with maybe like a 1/2 cup of unsweetened applesauce. That should work too. And then you'll also need 1 egg. So I already have the Kodiak Cakes and the almond milk in the bowl. So now I'm just going to add the egg. Then I'm going to add the teaspoon of cinnamon, which I'm actually almost out of cinnamon. I wanted to try and save a little bit because I like to sprinkle the cinnamon on top of it after. And then a teaspoon of vanilla and the banana. And then just mix that together. And in the meantime, I have my oven preheating on 350 degrees. Alright, and once that is mixed together real good, just fold in the blueberries. Okay, and then just take your 13 by 9 inch pan. I've sprayed it with olive oil spray, and then dump the batter in there. Spread it around. And then you can just add a little bit of cinnamon to the top. My oven is ready. And then you're going to bake it in the 350 degree oven for about 30 minutes. Keep an eye on it. I would say definitely check it after about 20 minutes. This doesn't rise like a cake. It's kind of a flat, more of a flat pancake bake. But definitely check it after about 20 minutes and see how it is. And but anywhere between 20 and 30 minutes depending on your oven. So I'm going to put this in the oven and then get started on lunch. Alright, so while that's baking, I'm going to get the lunch started. I am actually going to cut up some turkey kielbasa to go with the breakfast. This kielbasa is 2 points for 2 ounces. So I'm going to just go ahead and cut the whole thing up and just put about 2 ounces in with each portion for breakfast that we have. So our breakfast will be a total of 5 points. It'll be 3 points for the pancake bake and 2 points for the kielbasa. This is actually already cooked, but I'm just going to go ahead and cook it a little bit more so that it's browned up a little. I'm just going to spray a pan just a little bit and add that to it. Okay, and then for the onions and peppers, I'm actually just using some frozen ones, but they're a little bit bigger than we care for, so I'm going to put them in here and just chop them up a little bit more. Okay, so that's a little bit better. They're a little bit smaller pieces. So I'm just going to put them in this pan. And I think I'm going to just cook the whole bag. Okay, so I'm just going to take these over to the stove now and get those sauteing. Just giving them the sausage a good sear. I love the little crispness on the side. So I just turn it up to like medium high and just let it get a good sear on there. And then we'll take that off the stove. And then for the onions and peppers, because I used frozen, I did let them unthaw first, but as you can see, there's quite a bit of liquid, so these are going to take some time to saute the way that I want them. So I'm just going to have to let these sit here for a bit and saute. Plus, I have quite a bit in there, so these are going to take a little bit. So in the meantime, I'm going to take you back over to the table and we'll start getting the chicken ready while we wait for this to finish cooking. Okay guys, so I have you close up on the table so that you can see what I do with the chicken. I've actually had this chicken marinating overnight in light Italian Olive Garden dressing. And I went ahead already and cut the slits into the chicken. So let me see if I can show you. So you see I have just slits in them. Each of these pieces is about a 6-ounce piece. I'm just going to take these out and put them on the cutting board. I only need 6, but I actually made 8, and we may eat a couple of these tonight. These are between 5 and 6 ounces each for each one. So now I am just going to add a little bit of pepper to them. I'm not going to add salt since I had them marinating. And a little bit of garlic powder. I say a little bit, but I always put a lot on there. We like garlic, so. So I'm going to preheat my air fryer to 375, and I'm going to preheat it for about 3 minutes. And then I'm going to start these cooking before I stuff them with the onions and peppers. Okay, so my air fryer is preheated. I'm just going to spray it with olive oil spray. And then I am just going to put the chicken in there, slit side down. And I'm just going to cook these for about 5 minutes. And then we'll stuff the onions and peppers in there. And I'm going to have to do these in 2 batches because I'm only going to be able to fit 4 in at a time. So I'll put these in for 5 minutes. Okay, so I had the first batch in there for 5 minutes. And I'm going to take those out and just put them on a tray. then I'm going to respray my pan. And then we'll get these ones going. All right, so I'm gonna get those in the air fryer for 5 minutes, and then in the meantime, I'm gonna stuff the other ones with the onions and peppers. So what you wanna do is just kind of reopen your slits. And then just go ahead and put some onions and peppers in the slits. And then you want to go ahead and add in I'm using the ultra thin provolone. So to make this 4 points each, you would need 2 or 3 slices. But if you just want to make it 3 points, then you can use 2 slices in each one. So I was thinking I might do a slice in and then a slice on top after. Break them into slices and then stuff them right inside there with the onions and peppers. Like I said, you can put all the cheese in the slices, or you can wait and top it with a piece of cheese after. That's completely up to you. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and stuff the rest of them. Okay, so I have those all stuffed. I decided to do 2 slices of the provolone inside it, and then I will just lay a slice of it over the top after, so they'll be 4 points each. So now I'm gonna put those back in the air fryer for about another 8 minutes. Okay, so while the chicken finishes cooking, I'm gonna go ahead and put the pancake bake into the trays. I actually weighed out the turkey sausage into each individual. There's about 2 ounces in each one. So now what I did is cut the pancake bake into 12 pieces, and there'll be 2 pieces into each tray. So that's what it looks like. Okay, and then the next thing we're going to do is weigh out the syrup. And I'm going to do a 1/4 cup for each one, which is going to be 0 points. I'm using this Maple Grove Farms low-calorie sugar-free syrup. Not sure how we're going to like it. We usually use Mrs. Butterworth's, but they didn't have any, so I may be stopping at the store tomorrow to pick some up. So I'm going to weigh out 60 milliliters. Okay, and there is our 5-point breakfast. So now I'm going to put these away and move back onto the lunch. I'm going to put the lunches together, and they ended up turning out, the chicken turned out real good, and my husband actually tried one and said he doesn't see why we need to put another piece of cheese over top of it. So it's actually going to be 3 points instead of 4. So I'm just going to leave it the way it is with the 2 slices of cheese in the middle, or in the slits. And we'll just put a piece in each container. I'm going to just pair it with some Normandy blend. This is just frozen vegetables, and that way when we microwave it, they'll cook right up. And what I'll do is, the day that I have it, I'll just have some spray butter at work. So I'll just spray it with some spray butter, and then for my husband's, I will spray his in the morning before he leaves for work. Okay, so that's what the lunch looks like. So that's going to be a 3-point lunch. So we have a 5-point breakfast and a 3-point lunch. All right, now I'm going to put these away, and then I'm going to start on my dinners. For my dinners this week, I only actually had 2 to prep because Wednesday night, we're going to do breakfast. We're just going to do like eggs and hash waffles Wednesday. So there's really no prep that I can do with that. So I'm just going to be prepping Monday and Tuesday. Thursday night, we're going to have a sub either from Subway or Publix. And then Friday, I don't usually prep. We usually do like a fish fry or something on Friday. So I'm going to put these away and start on dinners. Okay guys, so like I said, I only have 2 dinners that I have to prep tonight. So if you're new to my channel, when I say that I prep dinners, I don't really prep them in the sense that like I do for breakfast and lunch, I don't cook them. I'm basically just pre-packaging them. I'm weighing everything out, the ingredients that I need, and just making it a little bit easier for when I get home from work. I do work during the day, during the week, so this makes it a lot easier. When I come home from work, I can just pull out each package, whatever I'm having that night. I already have it pre-weighed, pre-measured, and I have the points on there, so it makes it a lot easier to pre-track if I need to pre-track, and that way it saves me a lot of time during the week. So it's pretty much comparable to like a meal delivery service like Home Chef or Blue Apron or any of those type of services. I'm gonna just have everything already portioned out. So what I do is I just mark what we're having on the bag, and I mark how many points that it is, and then I just keep them in the fridge. I am prepping for my husband and I. I don't usually prep out past 3 or 4 days, depending on what it is. So for like the breakfast and lunches that I did, those are just for 3 days for my husband and I. You don't really want to prep farther out than 3 or 4 days. If you do, then you really need to probably put them in the freezer. So the first one I'm going to do today is air fryer crispy breaded pork chops, and I'm going to be pairing that with ranch cauliflower. When we have the ranch cauliflower, we don't have potatoes or rice with that because the ranch cauliflower just reminds us kind of potatoes, so we don't really crave the starch. So this recipe is actually a skinny taste recipe for the pork chops. So for the cauliflower, basically, I just put the cauliflower in the bottom of the bag. I don't cut it, or I just cut it into pieces. I don't wash it or anything today. I'll wash it the night that we have it. And then for the topping, the ranch topping for the cauliflower, I am going to weigh out 2 ounces of light sour cream. And then 1 teaspoon of Hidden Valley Ranch powder. And then just carefully stir that up. I usually have this side like once a week. We really like this. And it's only 2 points. Of course, the cauliflower is 0. And then this topping is 2 points per serving. I have enough in here for 2 servings. My husband and I will split this. So basically, I'm just going to roast the cauliflower that night. I'll roast it in 450-degree oven for about 20 minutes. And then we just top it with the sauce. We don't cook the sauce or anything like that. Right, and then, so the sauce is already ready, so just saves a little bit of time during the week. So I'm going to put that in the bag. I also have already weighed out 2 5-ounce pieces of pork chop. These are center cut pork chops that I got from Sam's Club a while ago, and I pre-packaged them. I put them in vacuum sealed pack, and this is actually still frozen. I just took it out of my freezer, so I'm just going to put that in the bag, and then that will unthaw over the next day in the freezer. And then the next thing I do is prepare the topping. I already have this topping prepared, and the reason being is that the Skinny Taste recipe is enough for 6 servings. So what I usually do is I go ahead and make put all 6 servings in this bag, and then I just keep this bag in my cabinet, and I just write down how many servings I have left in it. I know right now that I have 4 servings left in it because it was in my cabinet, so I know I've already used it once. So now what I'll do is I will use 2 more servings, and then I will put it back in my pantry. But this time I'm going to write down that there's only 2 servings left. So it's kind of, that way it's already pre-made and I can just keep reusing it. So I'm just going to read to you what is in this topping. So it is a 1/2 cup of panko crumbs, 1/3 cup crushed cornflake crumbs, 2 tablespoons of grated Parmesan, 1 1/4 teaspoons of sweet paprika, 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1/2 teaspoon of onion powder, 1/4 teaspoon of chili powder, and 1/8 of a teaspoon of black pepper. And I will have the link to the recipe down in the description box below. So that is what we need. The other thing that we're going to need for this recipe is an egg, which I'm not going to put the egg in the bag. I will just get the egg out. That's just going to be basically to dip it in. So that's all that's in this bag. Just going to put that in there too. And that's it. So that's it to my dinners. So now when I get home, this one I'm doing Tuesday night. When I get home Tuesday night, I'm just going to pull this out, wash the vegetables, get the meat going, and it's just makes it a lot quicker with time. Okay, the other one that I'm going to be doing this week is actually super easy. This is going to be pan-seared salmon with rice and broccoli. So a lot of you know that I use my air fryer a lot, and I have actually been using the air fryer for salmon every single week. But I decided this week I'm just going to keep it simple. And I am going to just do a pan-seared salmon on the stove, just with some bay seasoning and maybe some salt and pepper. And I may top it with like a 1/2 tablespoon of butter. So this one is going to be really easy. So I'm just using these broccoli florets. These are sometimes, for this bag is $5.98. I sometimes feel like it's cheaper because when you buy it by the pound regular, you're paying so much for the stock, and I don't eat that big stock. So I like to buy it this way sometimes. And I always make a little bit of extra broccoli because my dogs love broccoli. And then I forgot to, I wanted to put a couple green onions in with the pork chop one because I like to top the cauliflower with green onion. And then I'll put a little bit of green onion in this bag too. I'm also going to put in there 2 tablespoons of Parmesan cheese. And I'm just going to use that to put over the broccoli. That's going to give the broccoli a point. And then I'm going to put my salmon in there. And the other thing I'm going to have with it that night, I'm just going to have this 90-second rice. And if you're new, I'm just putting this in the bag for now just to show you what I'm having with it. But I won't keep that in the fridge. I'll take that out and put it back in my pantry when I put this in the fridge. But everything else that I have in the bag stays in the bag until the night that I make them. I don't put anything in the freezer or anything like that. So that is it for that night. And then, of course, salt and pepper and things like that I don't put in the bag. I'm going to actually put probably a half a tablespoon of light butter on the salmon when it's done. But I won't put that in the bag. I tried it before one time and it just ended up, the butter ended up a mess. So, okay, so that's it for my dinners this week. Super easy, only had 2. So now I am going to get my snacks together and also weigh out my cereal for one day. I'm doing the pancake bake for 3 days. One morning I'm going to have cereal and one morning I'm just going to have yogurt and fruit. Alright, so the last thing I'm doing is our snacks and my cereal. So I just weigh out 30 grams of Fiber One cereal and then almost a half a cup of unsweetened vanilla almond milk, and that is a 2-point breakfast. And then I'll usually cut up a banana in it that morning. And then for the other snacks, I have 28 grams of Snack Factory pretzel crisps that I measure out, weigh out into each package. And then I put a Laughing Cow cheese wedge in there. And sometimes I don't use the cheese wedge. Sometimes we use the queso dip from Aldi, which is really good. 1 point for 2 tablespoons. So 3 points for the pretzels, and then 1 point for the wedge, or 1 point for the queso. So it ends up being a 4-point snack. And so I'm just going to put the cheese wedges in there. And then I just keep these in the fridge. And then for my breakfast and lunch, I take everything to work with me on Monday. We have a fridge at work that I keep everything in there, and then my husband takes his day by day. And then the other snacks that we have, I just have a tray that I keep in the fridge, which has our puddings and our yogurts. So that's the other snacks. And then I'm just going to cut up this cantaloupe, and then I will be done and can show you what we ended up with. Very long today. It was a lot easier. Really looking forward to breakfast and lunch though. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get everything out and show you guys what we ended up with this week. Alright, so here it is. Super excited again. Who knew that you could do some type of weight loss program and be excited about eating every week? It's just so great to be able to eat anything we want on this program. Alright, so for snacks this week, I have our fruit bowls, which really aren't really a fruit bowl, it's just cantaloupe. And then I have my Snack Factory pretzels and my Laughing Cow cheese wedge. This is a 4-point snack, 3 for the pretzels, 1 for the wedge. If I don't use the wedge, then I will use the queso dip from Aldi. That is 1 point for 2 tablespoons. I also have our pudding and our Greek yogurt. That's 2 points for the pudding, 2 points for the yogurt. For breakfast, for one of my mornings, I have my Fiber One cereal. That is 0 points for 30 grams. And I'm sorry, that's 2 points for 30 grams, 0 points for my unsweetened vanilla almond milk. And then for breakfast, these end up being a 5 pound. These ended up being a 5-point breakfast. It's 3 points. Look at that blueberry. Oh my gosh. It is 3 points for the pancake bake. It is 2 points for the turkey kielbasa and 0 points for the syrup. So again, those are just, they're so good. They're so good. And like I said, if you're not a banana person, try it with maybe like a half a cup of unsweetened applesauce and see how that does for you. So that's the breakfast, 5 points for breakfast. And then for lunch, I have the Hasselback chicken, the Philly style Hasselback chicken. And again, decided to just use the 2 slices of the ultra thin Sargento provolone cheese. So that's going to be 3 points instead of 4. I believe on the recipe, I have that it's 4 points per serving, but again, it depends how much cheese you use. Since I'm only using 2 slices, it's 3 points. And then 0 for the vegetables. And I'm just going to put some spray butter, salt, and pepper on those. So those are our lunches. And then dinners, Monday and Tuesday, I have the pan-seared salmon with rice and broccoli. That's going to be a 5-point dinner. The salmon will be, actually salmon will probably be 1 because of the butter. And then the rice will be 3, and the broccoli is 1 because I'm going to put some Parmesan cheese on it. And then air fryer, crispy breaded pork chops with ranch cauliflower from the Skinny Taste website. The Skinny Taste website says 7 points per serving, but I want to say that when I did this last time, it came out to 5 points per serving. But I may have used less pork, so I would definitely recommend going by what she has on her site. And then, like I said, Wednesday night, I didn't prep Wednesday night because I'm just doing eggs and hash waffles, so nothing really to prep for that night. Thursday night, we're going to just do subs. And Friday night, I don't usually prep because that's too far out for one. And I usually just do frozen fish. We usually do like a fish fry with cod or something that night anyway. So that's what we ended up with this week. Okay guys, we got another week done with prep. I thank you so much if you're still with me. Please make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you like this type of video. And also, if you are new, I hope that you will consider subscribing. Make sure to click that subscribe button and click the notification bell so you're notified anytime that I upload new content. And let me know in the comments how you guys are doing if you are meal prepping. I know some people are literally waiting for my video to come up this week. They see what I'm doing this week and then they follow me next week. They have the same thing and I think that is so cool. So I appreciate it so much. And also make sure to check out planninushealthy.com. I got my website up and running. It is a work in progress. It is so new. I definitely want to work on the recipe page, but I just want to put something out there as a start to give you guys one place that you can go and see my recipes. So as usual, with these recipes, I will have them linked down in the description box below. And if there are any, and actually I may just put the link to my website. We'll see. I'm not sure how that's going to go. On the website, I can't actually link the recipe direct. I have to just link you to my recipe page, and then I have the recipes listed in alphabetical order. And if it is a recipe that's not mine, like the Skinny Taste pork chops, I will just put the Skinny Taste website and link you to her site. So that's it for this week. So again, I thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for all your support, and I hope you have a wonderful week. I will see you in my next video. I'm Christy, and I am Planning Us Healthy.